Good morning, garden friends. This is Pam, Flower Patch Farmhouse, and I'm in the greenhouse this morning trying to hurry to get these planters planted up before the sun hits. The sun is going to hit here on the greenhouse and it heats up really quick to where it's unbearable. So I wanted to share planting up these containers I got at Walmart. I was looking for the other ones that were, forgive this is kind of messy, it's got stuff in it, like this, and they were sold out online and in the store. So I saw these and I thought these would be pretty too. So I punched holes in the bottom with a nail and a hammer. I would show you, but I'd have to dump out. I had put some of my compost in here. I guess you could see, maybe see the little holes in there. Just a nail and hammer, worked great. I have 4 of these. I'm going to show you how I plant up 2, because 2 are going to be exactly alike and 2 others are going to be exactly alike. So you'll see what all of them are going to look like when I plant just the 2. So I'm going to use my gloves because I've got to keep my fingernails clean today. I got to do a painting tutorial, and grubby fingernails in one of those is not pretty. So I was going to say, these gloves I love. I go through garden gloves like crazy. And these, let me see if I have a package. Oh, yes, I do. I buy them in packages like this. See these? How many's in here? 5 pairs in here. And this costs about $8. Whereas 1 pair of garden gloves costs $8. And I do not go through these any faster than I go through the garden gloves. So these are nitrile coated gloves, wet and dry grip. And they work great. This is a size large. Anyways, thought you'd like to know how to get some cheap gloves that work really good. Okay, now this first planter, I am going to start, because I wanted to put these in it. These planters are going to go on the side steps to my porch. There's a bit of a sidewalk there. And I wanted this to go in it like this. And I wanted boxwoods. Now, if I bought larger boxwoods, it would be hard for me to put this in it because they're already sizable. So these are cuttings I've started from my boxwoods, and I'm going to put 2 in each container so it can fill up, and I can prune it around that orb and have it look pretty. It'll look pretty before it's filled in because I like the look of the orb, and then after because it'll be pretty and round. So that's my deal. Got an ant in there. So I am going to fill up my container. This is my DIY potting soil, but you can use bagged potting soil. It's just fine. Let me point you down so you can actually see what I'm doing. You don't have to see my head. Let's see if you can see. So here's the container. I guess you could see both. Yeah, that works. So here's my container, and I'm just going to fill it up. I use everything I can, whatever I can to scoop. I had seen those big scoopers, metal scoopers, at the hardware store, and they had it in the Traeger section. The Traeger grill and smoker. I think I'm going to get me one. It'd be perfect scooper for soil. But this pot works great too. So let's get this all filled in there. Oh, I see, that's not. I thought that was something unsavory, but it's not. It's a piece of the coconut core. Okay, so I can only fill it to where this hole is, these handle holes, because of course the soil will start coming out. But that's fine. That's all well and dandy. I did show you that in the bottom I had some of my compost from my compost bin, and that was just used as a filler. It was, I didn't sift it or anything, so I had big chunks, but it doesn't matter. By the time these things get down to that section, or the roots I should say get down to that area, all will be good. Okay, so for me to decide where to put my little cuttings of boxwood, I'm going to impress the imprint on it, and I want to put it on each side of the centerpiece. There's a little center area there, and so I'll make the indentation so I can see, is that centered? And then I can kind of see what would be between, and we'll guesstimate on this. Ooh, this one is well rooted in there. Look at those roots. Wonderful. Okay. Let me put this one down in here. Give it plenty of space for those roots to keep going. That's a pretty one. And then I'll do a smaller one. Let's see how well this one's going. Oh, that one's got beautiful roots too. Look at that. And I'll put that one over here. Dig down and let those roots get down in there. I love propagating plants. I want to make a hedge of boxwoods, and the most inexpensive or cost-effective way is to take cuttings of what I have. Plus, I have one that works so much better than others. I have Winter Gym, but they seem to become misshapen easy from the heavy snows. I have another one that's quite different. It grows differently, but it's still beautiful, and it seems to be much tougher. I don't know what it is. A friend gave it to me. She had it in her office, of all things, boxwood indoors. I guess it worked, but it started to die. So she gave it to me to revive, and it works beautifully in my garden. That's why I don't know what it is. So the leftover soil from the containers, I'm going to put right there. And the other one had already all come out. So there's the boxwoods. Now in the interim, I'm also going to plant something else in here. Let me see if I can fit these in there somewhere. One of these. This is a potato vine, but look at the color. It's got white edging with, when it gets into the sun, it gets this purple. What is this called? Tricolor sweet potato vine. Isn't that thing gorgeous? I don't know if you can see it. I'm looking here and I'm not looking at where I can be in the camera. But anyway, so I'm going to put that, pop that in there as well. So, oh wow, look at that roots. I'm going to tickle some of these so they can kind of spread out instead of just continuing to go in a circle. And figure out where I'm going to put this. So I want it like in the front. So these two will be there. So I'm going to put it right, no, I don't want the handles in front. Okay, right here. I'm going to dig down as far as I can so I can get it in there. Get it down in there and let it drape. I might even let some of it climb up these obelisks. They're not, are they obelisks? I don't know. What do they call these little round orbs? Topiary frames? I think they're topiary frames. So I'm filling in around it as best as I can. I'm messy and what have you. So there is one. Now I could try to fill in with other things, but I really want space for those boxwoods to keep going and to spread out. And then they'll fill up this little orb. Let me straighten the orb there. Okay, we are all good. I will go ahead and put this in place. Now let's do the second one. Maybe I should move it back here and you can see it back here better without cutting my head off. What are you doing, Henny Penny? She's not Henny Penny. Henny Penny got eaten by a bear, but okay, we'll put that one over there. I could put some alyssum in there if to give it something to go with. It doesn't crowd out everything else. So I have the other two boxwoods there for the next one that I do that matches. But this one, I'm just going to put some foliage plants in. And these are also the potato vines. This one is Midnight Lace. And then also I have, let's see, over here, I have Sweet Caroline Medusa green to put in there. So they should fill in. I don't have any more orbs. I just have the two orbs, and that's the ones with the boxwood. But these will be really pretty with these in, and they'll fill in a lot. So I'm going to finish putting soil in here. And I need to mix up more of my soil. But I'll go and use some bags that I have because it was left over from this spring. And it needs to be used up, so I'm not having it in here in the studio. Not studio, I keep saying that. Greenhouse. Now let me place these since they have such deep pots. This one's pretty well stuck in there. Okay. Lots of roots. Kind of loosen the bottom ones so they get going. Some will say not to do that. Some say to do it. I do it. So you choose what you want to do. And then one of these. This one's pretty dry, I think. So it will love getting into some moist soil. And I think these will be so pretty with just the foliage. I love foliage that is colorful. Okay, I'm just going to fill this with soil. Sometimes it's tempting to overstuff your containers, and many times you see people doing that, but there's really no benefit other than having an immediate showstopper. They will fill in. In a week, I will show you this, and we will see exactly what it looks like and how it's filled in. If I did anything, I probably would put in some alyssum, because the white dainty flowers just set off anything else that you have. I may even, I don't know, if I have some lobelia that I didn't find a place for, I could even put that in there. Though these are going in quite a hot spot. The lobelia might not like that. But I could find some, like I said, the alyssum would do beautifully. But basically, I want this to be able to fill in. I want the roots to have room to grow and for these plants to spread without crowding them. So next up, I'll show you these babies in place. So here they are on the steps. What do you think? I was thinking maybe, let me walk around and back up so they're in full view. I was thinking maybe I should put them up a step or not. What do you think? Right now the hummingbirds are very prolific. I think if we stand here long enough, I might actually catch one coming back for the trumpet vine. I'm just waiting. So I want to show you here, this is the first week of September, how these pots, these metal tubs that I planted up a few months ago, how they're doing now and what's going on with them. I am just loving them. And I wanted to share with you one final shot of these white tubs that were planted up a few months ago and how they turned out. This is the first week of September, and let's take a good look at them. Can you see them here? I know the the sun's starting to come over and ignore the construction debris on the porch. We're getting the house painted and the rails done. Anyways, but look at these pots. Look how gorgeous they have turned out. I am even more thrilled than I anticipated. Now, even though, let me get over here. These are the tricolor potato vine, which I love the colors. They're riddled with spider mites. I've had a huge issue with spider mites. I got my concoction mixture ingredients in the mail just the other day, and I will mix it up and start treating them. But I can trim back a lot of the ones that are filled with spider mites, and there's new growth coming underneath. And the boxwoods that I had put in there are still doing great. They're just doing fabulous. So they will fill in just fine. I am definitely going to try to overwinter some cuttings from this. And I'll share with you when I do that. Because I don't know. Whoops, I think I just broke a piece. I heard something snap. Anyways, might be a good place to start. I have, look at this thing, it's so long. I have started some more from these just when I was trimming it back, and I just stuck it in water and it rooted. And so I potted those up, and I've got them scattered around the garden. This one is called Medusa's something. When I first did these pots, I told you what it was. And it's done beautiful. I like the foliage and what have you, but I also love the regular potato vine that is super rampant. And a lot of people don't like it because of that virtue. I call it a virtue. I love it because I can fill a pot with it, and then I can start taking cuttings and put more around. And that chartreuse color for me is just fabulous. I have them in my barrels with my roses. I have it just everywhere, and I love it. It's called Marguerite. Anyways, I've had a hard time finding it this year because everybody's going to these hybrids that aren't as vigorous. And though I love these, I still love the original, and I'm definitely going to keep cuttings of that over winter, so I'm not struggling to find it next spring. So that being said, this was a little surprise. This is a vintage petunia. Yes, and these have the sweetest scent. Sorry. These have the sweetest scent, and I was walking through the garden, the secret garden the other day, and I kept smelling, which I thought were the sweet peas. And I walked by a tub where these had come up by themselves, volunteer, and they were exuding the most beautiful perfume. They were outperforming as far as scent the sweet peas, but they smell very similar to the sweet peas, so it's a very delightful scent. So I'm just thrilled that more came up in this, and they reseed themselves readily. As you can see, they just come up wherever they decide to. So that being said, this was a great, huge success for me. It was relatively inexpensive. These were the little tubs from Walmart. What success did you have? A container that you just created this summer and loved. Just a total success for you, and that you hope to repeat maybe next summer just because you enjoyed it so much. Please leave your answer in the comments below, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel, give this video a thumbs up, and share with your friends. All right, I will see you in the next video. Bye.